What happens when a Hollywood legend walks onto a talk show stage expecting a friendly conversation, and instead gets a question that stops the room cold? Make sure to subscribe to the Star Talks, and like and comment for more talk show coverage. The camera light blinks red as the show cuts back from a commercial break. The audience settles, clapping and cheering as the hosts smile at the desk. Joy Behar leans forward, shuffling note cards, while Sunny, Sarah, and Alyssa exchange a quick glance that feels a little too knowing. Tom Cruise sits at the end of the table, hands folded, polite smile on his face, the kind of smile actors use on live TV when they're trying to stay relaxed. Joy taps the table lightly. All right, we are back, and we're joined by one of the biggest movie stars in the world, Tom Cruise. The audience cheers again, the applause louder this time, echoing across the studio. Tom nods, friendly, appreciative. Thank you for having me. I love this show. We love having you, Sarah says. You always bring great energy. Tom laughs. I try. It's all warm, normal, easy, the usual start to any interview. The hosts ask him about his new movie, the insane stunts everyone knows him for, the training process, the travel schedule. Tom talks enthusiastically, hands moving as he explains one of the stunt sequences, and the hosts react with a mix of fear and admiration. You know, Sunny says, I don't know how you do it. I get nervous just climbing my stairs. Tom chuckles. It's all preparation. And maybe a little bit of insanity. More laughter, more applause. Everything seems smooth. There's no tension, no pressure, just the familiar rhythm of a daytime interview. But Joy keeps glancing at her cards. And every time she does, her expression shifts, subtle, but sharp. Like she's waiting for the right moment to drop something she knows will land hard. Finally, she leans her elbow on the desk and turns toward Tom. Tom, I want to ask you something, she begins, voice casual, almost friendly, but with that edge everyone recognizes. The audience murmurs a bit, they know her tone. Tom smiles politely. Sure, Joy. Anything. Well, Joy says, flipping one card over. You've been in the spotlight for decades, and people love your movies. But recently, there's been a lot of conversation online about whether you're, well, difficult to interview. The room goes noticeably quieter. Tom's smile fades just a little, not gone, just tighter. Joy continues. Some say you avoid certain questions. Some say you get defensive. And some say you snap. She emphasizes the last word slightly, letting it hang in the air. The studio audience reacts immediately, scattered gasps, whispers, a few uncomfortable laughs. Tom shifts in his chair. I'm not sure what you mean, he says calmly, but his tone is clearly more controlled now. Sunny glances at Joy. Sarah straightens her posture. Alyssa raises her eyebrows like she's waiting to see what happens next. Joy lifts her shoulders. Look, Tom, we're a talk show. We ask questions. People are curious. So I'm going to ask you the one everyone on social media keeps bringing up. Tom's jaw tightens a fraction. Okay, he says, carefully. Go ahead. Joy sets the card down and looks directly at him. Why do you react so strongly when interviewers challenge you? I mean, some folks say you don't like being pushed. And earlier interviews over the years, we've all seen the clips, you've gotten pretty heated. So I'm wondering, are we going to see that today? The audience reacts again, louder, mixed gasps and nervous laughter. Tom leans back slightly, eyes narrowing, but is still composed. Joy, I don't think that's a fair question, he says. Or an accurate one. Joy raises her eyebrows. Really? Because that's what people are saying. Well, Tom replies, voice firmer now. People say a lot of things online. Sunny steps in, trying to balance the moment. To be fair, social media isn't exactly known for nuance. Tom nods at her. Exactly. Joy doesn't back down. But the clips aren't from social media. They are from interviews you've done. So I'm just asking, is this a thing? Are you hard to interview? A low ripple moves across the audience. They can feel the shift. The room has changed, no longer light, no longer playful. Tom looks directly at Joy. I'm here to talk about the film, he says. And I'm here to have a conversation. But if you're trying to provoke something. Joy interrupts. I'm not provoking anything. I'm asking the question that everyone else is asking. Tom's tone sharpens. No, Joy. You're framing it in a way that makes it sound like I'm some unpredictable person who's ready to explode at any moment. Well, Joy says, are you? A collective gasp bursts from the audience, loud enough that the hosts flinch. Even the camera operator seems to adjust, zooming in slightly, sensing the tension rising. Tom's eyes widen, and the polite smile is completely gone now. "Come on, Joy," he says, voice clipped. "That's not only unfair, it's disrespectful." Joy sits back, crossing her arms. "I'm doing my job. You know how this table works." Sunny steps in again, lightly placing her hand on the desk. "Let's keep this grounded," she says softly. "We're all professionals here." But Tom is visibly irritated now. "I came here in good faith," he says. "And you're implying I'm volatile." Joy shrugs. "I'm just asking why the clips exist." Tom lets out a short laugh, not amused, more incredulous. "So you dug up moments from years ago and made them the centerpiece of this conversation." "I didn't dig anything up," Joy replies. "People still talk about them." The tension is no longer subtle. It's thick, uncomfortable, unmistakably real. The audience feels it. The hosts feel it. Tom feels it. Sarah finally breaks her silence. "Let's take a breath," she says, smiling nervously at the camera. "It's live TV, folks." The audience chuckles, but the nervous kind, the kind that happens when everyone knows something's gone off track. Tom turns back to Joy. "If you want to ask me about my work, great," he says, voice low and steady. "But if you're trying to get a reaction out of me, you're not going to succeed." Joy snorts softly. "I'm not trying to get a reaction. I'm trying to get an answer." "Well," Tom says, "you're getting one." The producers behind the cameras start waving their hands, counting down to break, but the hosts are still mid-tension, still on edge. Sarah forces a smile. "We have to go to commercial," she says quickly, almost cutting everyone off. "Stay with us." The audience claps, awkward, uneven, unsure what they are reacting to. The camera light goes off, but the tension does not go away. The moment the camera light clicks off, the studio atmosphere shifts from strained to almost painfully quiet. Producers rush toward the table, whispering urgently, but trying not to appear chaotic on a set where the audience can still see everything. The audience murmurs among themselves, eyes locked on the hosts and Tom. Nobody looks relaxed, not even the crew. Tom rubs his palms together once, like he's trying to shake off the tension. Joy flips her note cards, pretending to read something she's not actually looking at. Sunny leans toward him, speaking quietly but firmly. "Tom," she says, "you know Joy's style." She pushes. It's what the audience expects. Tom exhales slowly. "I get that. But there's pushing, and then there's framing someone like a ticking bomb." Joy glances over without lifting her head. "I didn't frame you as anything." Tom looks directly at her. "Joy." A producer cuts in, whispering, "Guys, we're back in 40 seconds. Please, please, just keep it calm. We don't need a bigger blow-up than we already have." Joy finally looks up. Nobody's blowing up. This is what happens on talk shows. "That's exactly the problem," Tom mutters. The audience watches all of it, confused, half excited, half worried. A few people pull out their phones until security waves at them to put them away. Saya leans across the table toward Tom. "Listen," she says softly. "If you want to redirect after we come back, you can. Just say what you want to talk about." Tom nods, though he still looks irritated. The floor director counts down with his fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2. The camera light turns red again. Sarah plasters on a smile. "Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Tom Cruise, talking about his new film, The Stunts, Anne." Tom interrupts gently but pointedly. "And apparently, my personality." The audience reacts instantly, a mix of laughter and gasps. Joy tilts her head with an expression that's half annoyed, half unimpressed. Sarah tries to salvage it. "We're just having a lively discussion." Joy leans in. "Look, Tom, if you feel like the question was unfair, you can say that. But the idea that we're attacking you—" "I didn't say attacking," Tom says. "I said framing. It's different." Joy lifts her eyebrows. "Okay, so I'm framing you." Tom's voice stays steady. "You suggested I'm unpredictable. That I could snap." Sunny jumps in quickly. Which, to be fair, is a word social media uses. Tom turns to her. "Sunny, I respect you, but those are trolls online. Why are we treating them like valid critics?" Sunny nods slowly. "I agree they are trolls. But sometimes a clip goes viral because there's something in it people react to." Tom leans forward, frustrated but controlled. A clip from 15 years ago. One moment. One conversation. And now it's being resurfaced like it defines me. Joy taps her card against the table. Well, does it? Tom's eyes narrow just slightly, not angry, but incredulous. No, and you know it doesn't. The audience shifts, uncomfortable again. There's a growing sense that this is no longer just a tension spike. This is a full-on disagreement, live on air, and no one knows how far it's going to go. Alyssa finally speaks up, trying to offer relief. I think a lot of celebrities feel misunderstood by the press. And honestly, we've all had moments on TV we wish we could redo. Tom softens a bit at that. Yes, exactly. Everyone has moments. Joy interjects, but not everyone has viral ones. The room freezes again. Tom turns to her sharply. Why are you doing that? Joy shrugs casually. Doing what? Asking what millions of people already ask. Tom's jaw tightens. No, you're pushing it in a way that's designed to get a reaction. Joy smirks slightly. If I wanted a reaction, trust me, I'd ask a different question. Sunny immediately puts her hand out. Let's not go there. The audience reacts with a half laugh, half gasp, the kind people make when something feels just on the edge of inappropriate. Tom shakes his head. Joy, I didn't come here for this. Joy responds. You came here for an interview. And interviews aren't always comfortable. That's a convenient way to justify being provocative, Tom replies. Joy holds his gaze. Or maybe you're just sensitive to it. A wave of ripples through the audience. Tom sits up straighter. I'm not sensitive. I'm respectful. There's a difference. If someone asks me a tough question respectfully, I answer it. But when someone tries to corner me with old clips like they define who I am. Joy interrupts. They are part of your history. Tom fires back. They are part of everyone's history. But you're not asking the others at this table about their worst moments from a decade ago. The table falls silent. Even Joy pauses. Sarah swallows hard. Tom, you're right that sometimes old moments get blown out of proportion. Joy looks at her. Whose side are you on? Sarah raises her hands. There are no sides. I'm just saying. Tom cuts in. Look, I'm here to talk about my work. If you want to talk about the film, great. If you want to have a genuine conversation, great. But if the point is to poke at something until I react. Joy interrupts again. Tom, you're already reacting. The audience gasps. Tom lets out a tight sigh. I'm reacting because you're being unfair. Joy shakes her head, not backing down. No, I'm being honest. Sunny, clearly tired of the back and forth, leans forward and speaks firmly. Joy, Tom has answered you. Maybe we should move on. The audience applauds lightly, not loud, but supportive. Joy looks at Sunny, then at Tom. Fine, she says. We can move on. But her tone isn't resigned, it's irritated. Tom nods. Thank you. Sarah tries to pivot. So, Tom, in your new movie. But Joy interrupts again, voice louder than it needs to be. Wait, before we move on, I just want clarity. The audience groans softly, sensing the tension rising again. Tom closes his eyes briefly like he's gathering patience. Joy. Joy lifts her chin. Do you or do you not think the public deserves transparency about how you handle tough interviews? Tom opens his eyes, sharper now. You want transparency? Fine. I think the public deserves interviews that aren't built on baiting people. The audience reacts again, this time with scattered applause. Joy opens her mouth to respond, but Sunny touches her arm lightly. Joy, please. Saya jumps in quickly, almost desperately. We really do need to talk about the movie. Our audience has been waiting to hear about the stunt sequence filmed in the Alps. Tom nods, redirecting his focus with visible effort. Yes, let's talk about that. Joy sits back, stiff and clearly unhappy. The studio settles, but the energy is nowhere near calm. It's thick, uneven, and tense, the kind of energy that feels like the room is collectively holding its breath. And the conversation is far from over. Sarah smiles at Tom, though the tension is still obvious around her eyes. So, the Alps sequence, she says, her voice pitched a little higher than usual, the classic tone of a host trying desperately to smooth things over on live TV. You filmed on actual cliffs? No green screen. Tom nods, grateful for the redirect. Yes, everything you see is real. We were about. Joy exhales loudly, not even trying to hide her frustration. The audience reacts instantly. Some laugh awkwardly, others murmur. Tom stops mid-sentence and looks over at her. Is there something you want to add? His tone isn't aggressive, just genuinely tired. Joy folds her arms. I'm just listening. Sunny pinches the bridge of her nose, eyes closed for half a second. Joy. Joy holds up her hand slightly. What? I'm not doing anything. Alyssa jumps in quickly. Let's just give Tom the floor for a moment. Joy shrugs, leaning back in her chair. Tom breathes in slowly. As I was saying, yes, we filmed it all on location. No green screens. No safety nets that would ruin the shot. It took months of preparation. The audience applauds. Tom smiles, but is still tense, still watching Joy from the corner of his eye. Sarah continues. How many takes did it take for that big jump? I read somewhere it was 6. 6 exactly, Tom confirms. But every time, you have to reset, get the bike up, check the wind. Joy mutters under her breath, more dangerous than answering questions. A few audience members gasp. Someone in the back actually says, "Oh wow," out loud. Tom turns to her fully now. Joy, what is this? Really? Joy meets his stare. I'm allowed to talk. Not if the point is to poke at me every 30 seconds, Tom says. This is a professional show. Joy's eyes widen. Are you saying I'm unprofessional? Sunny leans in immediately. Nobody needs to say anything like that. Tom says nothing, but the silence speaks for him. The audience becomes completely still. No murmuring, no laughter, just heavy air. Joy points at the table. I've been doing this a long time, Tom. Tom nods. Yes, exactly. Which is why I'm surprised. Joy bristles. Surprised by what? That you're acting like this is some kind of battle, Tom says, voice steady but with an unmistakable edge. I came here expecting a real conversation. Joy fires back. This is a real conversation. Real conversations get messy. They don't have to be antagonistic, Tom replies. Joy throws her hands up. I was doing my job. Sorry if that's too much for you. The audience reacts again, a louder ooh, followed by nervous chatter. Sunny steps in quickly. Joy. Tom. Can we please take a beat? We're still live. Tom shakes his head slightly. I'm calm. I'm not raising my voice. But I'm not going to pretend like what's happening is normal. Sarah adds gently, let's just reset. We can continue with the movie, then go to audience questions. Joy scoffs. Audience questions? They'll probably ask the same thing I did. Tom turns to Joy, and his tone changes, not angry, but deeply disappointed. Joy, what's going on with you today? Joy's face flushes. Nothing's going on. I asked a question. You took offense. That's not my problem. Actually, Tom says, it kind of is. Because when you frame someone as unpredictable, then keep jabbing at them, that's not a question anymore. That's pushing. Joy crosses her arms. Oh, please. Sunny's voice is firmer now, almost like a parent intervening. Joy, you're escalating. Joy laughs bitterly. Me? Oh, come on. He's the one snapping. Tom's voice drops low, calm, razor clear. I'm not snapping. I'm setting a boundary. The audience applauds, louder this time. Enough to make Joy glance over her shoulder at them. Sarah tries again. Let's move to the scene in the village. Tom, the one with the... Joy interrupts. Oh my God, we're seriously pretending none of that happened. The entire table stiffens. Tom blinks slowly, like he can't believe this is still happening. Joy, you're the one who said we could move on. I said it, Joy replies, but clearly we haven't. Alyssa sighs audibly. You keep reopening it, Joy. Well, Joy snaps. Someone has to. Tom leans forward slightly. Why? Why do you feel the need to do that? Joy hesitates, just for a second, and the audience catches it. There's a small shift in the room. Then she says, because the public wants answers. Tom shakes his head. No, the public wants conversations, not accusations. Joy's tone sharpens. Then answer one honestly. Why do you get defensive in interviews? Is it about control? Is it ego? What is it? The room explodes, gasps. Wow, even a few boos. Tom's expression changes instantly. The politeness vanishes, replaced by something colder, more direct. That's enough, he says. The audience falls silent. Joy leans back smugly, like she's proven something. See? That right there. Tom looks directly at her, eyes steady. Joy, you keep pushing because you want that reaction. But I'm not here to play into your narrative. Joy bites back. It's not a narrative. It's a pattern. Tom shakes his head again. A pattern you created. Sunny tries to jump in again. Okay, I think we all need. But Tom keeps going, calmly, clearly. I'm not going to let you paint me as someone who can't handle questions. I've done thousands of interviews. I've talked about everything. Good, bad, embarrassing, difficult. But what I won't do is let someone twist a decade-old clip into an attack. Joy opens her mouth to respond, but the audience begins to applaud, loudly, passionately, clearly taking Tom's side in the moment. Joy freezes, startled by the reaction. Sarah takes the opening and jumps in. Thank you, audience, she says, almost relieved. Now, Tom, let's pivot to something everyone is excited about. You do a chase scene on a train roof that looks absolutely insane. Joy lets out another exaggerated sigh. This time, the audience boos lightly, not loudly, but unmistakably. Joy turns toward them, surprised. Oh, come on. Really? Sunny finally snaps, not loudly, but with authority. Joy. Joy stops talking. Tom clears his throat and tries again. The chase sequence took months to coordinate. We had to. Joy mutters. Months to coordinate a chase, but no time to deal with a tough question. Tom doesn't turn to her this time. He simply says, that's not a tough question. That's a loaded one. The entire room reacts again, another wave of murmuring and scattered applause. The tension in the air is no longer subtle. It's visible, palpable, the kind of tension that becomes a headline within minutes. And the hosts know it. The producers know it. The audience knows it. Even Tom knows it. Sarah looks helplessly at the camera, then at the floor manager. The floor manager gestures wildly. Another break is needed. Sarah smiles, painfully forced. We need to take a quick commercial break. Please stay with us. The audience claps, but it's uneven, confused, electric. The camera light clicks off again. But this time, no one says a word. The moment the camera light shuts off, the studio falls into a silence that feels sharp enough to cut through the air. No one moves at first. Not the hosts. Not Tom. Not even the producers who usually rush forward the second a segment hits a rough patch. Everyone is processing what just happened on live daytime television. Joy breaks the silence first, pushing her chair back slightly. Oh, come on, she mutters, shaking her head. That was blown way out of proportion. Sunny's eyes widen. She's calm, but clearly exhausted. Joy, you kept escalating it. Over and over. Joy snaps back, because he wasn't answering the question. Tom looks at her directly now. No cameras, no audience filter. I wasn't answering because the question wasn't asked in good faith. Joy throws her hands up. Everything has to be good faith with you. You're an actor. You're used to people asking you things. Tom laughs under his breath, though there's no humor in it. Yay. I'm also used to people twisting my words. Saya finally jumps in, voice soft but firm. Guys, please. Let's just get through the last segment. A producer approaches nervously. We have 3 minutes until we're back. We can cut the audience Q&A if needed. Just try to keep the energy neutral. Joy chuckles. Neutral? That ship sailed. The producer doesn't disagree. Tom turns away slightly and takes a breath like he's grounding himself, tapping his fingers on the table. Sunny watches him, frowning sympathetically. Tom, if you want to wrap your part early, we can adjust. It's been a lot. Tom shakes his head. No, I'm staying. I'm fine. I just want the last segment to be about the movie like it should have been. Joy raises an eyebrow. Well, don't look at me. Sunny sighs. Joy, you know what you did. Joy waves her hand dismissively. I asked a question. That's literally my job. Tom responds quietly but clearly. Asking is different from provoking. Joy looks stunned for a split second, like she wasn't expecting him to still be that composed. Before she can reply, the floor manager holds up his fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2. The camera light clicks on again. Saya forces the brightest smile she's worn all morning. Welcome back. We're here with Tom Cruise, discussing his upcoming film and some of its biggest action sequences. Tom straightens, looking into the camera. Yay. I think people are going to be blown away by the level of realism. Everything you see is practical. The audience claps, but it's hesitant, unsure whether it's okay to cheer yet. Joy sits stiffly, neither speaking nor smiling. It's rare to see her quiet. Even the audience notices. Sunny joins in. I saw an early screening of the film, and I have to say, the tension, the pacing, everything is incredible. I think people will love it. Tom nods gratefully. Thank you, Sonny. That means a lot. Sarah continues. We've been told we're short on time. But before we go, Tom, is there anything you want to say to the audience watching at home? Tom glances at Joy for only a moment before answering. Yay. Just this. I love doing interviews. I love talking to fans. I love sharing the work. But I think all conversations should be respectful, no matter who you're talking to. The audience applauds loudly, genuinely, and this time, Joy is the one who seems caught off guard. Sarah smiles nervously. Well, we appreciate you being here, Tom. Truly. Tom gives her a small nod, then smiles at the camera. Thanks for having me. We'll be right back, Sarah says. Don't go anywhere. The camera light turns off. Instantly, producers swarm the table. Okay, that's it, one says, motioning Tom away gently. We'll escort you out through the side. Tom stands, but before leaving, he turns back to Joy. His voice is low, almost tired. You didn't have to go there. Joy keeps her chin lifted. It's my job. Tom shakes his head. That wasn't your job today. He walks away with his team. Joy watches him leave, jaw tight, fingers tapping her note cards like she's trying to convince herself she wasn't rattled. Sarah leans toward her. Joy, seriously. Joy snaps. What? I'm not apologizing for asking a question. Sonny quietly replies. You weren't asking. You were poking. Alyssa nods. And the audience could tell. Joy looks away, visibly irritated. The audience is still murmuring, watching the hosts argue even without microphones. Some people look thrilled by the drama, others look uncomfortable. A few whisper to each other, this is definitely going viral. And they are right. By the time the show wraps and the hosts walk backstage, phones are already buzzing. Clips spreading on social media. People arguing in the comments. Fans posting reactions. Joy trending. Tom trending even harder. Arguments everywhere. Joy went too far. Tom was dodging the question. Joy was unprofessional. Tom was oversensitive. This is the most dramatic View episode in years. This is better than reality TV. Producers scramble to get ahead of the storm, issuing statements, clipping segments, preparing official responses. Meanwhile, Tom's team quietly escorts him through a back hallway. As he reaches the exit, a producer calls out, breathless, Tom, for what it's worth. I'm sorry it went the way it did. Tom gives a small, polite smile. It's daytime TV. Things happen. But the disappointment is still in his voice. Back at the table, Joy sits alone for a moment, staring at her note cards before tossing them aside. Sonny approaches her carefully. Joy, maybe take a break from social media for the rest of the day. Joy huffs. Please. I've been through worse. But when she checks her phone, sees the trending hashtags, the comment storms, the clips spreading everywhere, even she looks slightly shaken. A producer whispers to her, this one's going to follow you a while. And for once, Joy doesn't have a comeback. Outside the building, fans gather, talking excitedly about what they just saw. Some defend Joy. Most defend Tom. Everyone agrees on one thing. This episode will be talked about for weeks. And online, reactions continue to explode. That was so uncomfortable to watch. Tom handled that better than I expected. Joy was out of line. Joy asked what needed to be asked. No way that wasn't intentional drama. This is going to be all over entertainment news. By the evening, multiple outlets pick it up. Analysts weigh in. Clips hit millions of views. And fans of the Star Talks find the story on your channel next. Searching for breakdowns, analysis, commentary, and the full context behind the most heated moment daytime TV has had in months. Before signing off the fictional script, here's the final required note. And now, viewers, what do you think? Was Joy pushing too far, or was Tom being too defensive? Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the Star Talks for more real talk show stories.